Welcome back to another episode, folks. I'm the Beer Adventurer,
And I'm Becky.
and this episode is Yuengling's Oktoberfest. I wait all year for Yuengling's Oktoberfest because I really enjoy it. If you've watched my show, you found out that I'm kind of an Oktoberfest nut. If it says Märzen or Fest beer or Oktoberfest, I want to give it a shot. Now, Yuengling has a very special spot in my heart because they used to only be available anywhere that their trucks could get half a day. And then they wound up opening a brewery down in Florida when I lived in Florida. And they were the oldest brewery in North America. And we would try to get somebody to get some. And people would say, I don't like Japanese beer. And then okay. And they only brewed the lager down there for like 2 years. But now pretty much the entire East Coast can get Yuengling. And if you look, that is a beautiful, beautiful color. Pours a decent head. The smell is a little sweet, but very roasted. It looks more carbonated than it tastes.
No carbonation. Like, not that you would think bubbly mouthfeel.
Yeah. It doesn't, like, dance on your tongue. It's super smooth. Like, super smooth. I really like the smell of this beer.
It's kind of sweet, light, airy.
It tends to be a mellower Märzen than some of the other ones, I would say, that I've reviewed. But it still is very, very smooth and rich, which is kind of odd that it would be so rich and so mellow at the same time.
Yes, I can see that.
It almost has a cleaner taste than some of the other Märzens that I've reviewed.
It does have a really clean taste to it. It's the airiness to it that I like. The light mouthfeel.
Yeah.
It's not overly heavy.
Mm-hmm. I'd almost say it's it almost tastes a little bready. Which some of the European Märzens kind of have a little bit of a bread flavor. I know some people really like the lacing of the glass. It does that well. I think it's for an American beer, it tends to be a little more almost English style. Or a little more, I guess, European, probably. A lot of the craft beers that I've had recently that have a Märzen, they tend to add a little more hops than on this one.
I was going to say, I don't taste hops on this.
This one tends to be on the very smooth spectrum.
I can see that. It is very smooth. I get a lot of the malt side to it more than the hop.
Oh, definitely. I really enjoy it, though. So, well, I think that's probably about the best explanation of the flavors that I can give you. So now let's get into our ranking. Did you dig it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Would you have one out?
Yes.
Yes. We've kind of tried to replace the would you buy a 6-pack to how many would you put in a pick six?
I was gonna say probably like 4 or 5, just because I like them. Yeah. I think this one was bought as a 6-pack.
Yeah, honestly, there are some beers that I'd throw one in in a pick six. This I'd just go ahead and get a 6-pack of. I really like this beer a lot. So, in our 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, what do you say on this one?
I'm going to give it a 7. It's pretty well rounded. Not Not like the best, not mediocre. It's a little bit above the mediocre for me.
I concur. Um, Excuse me, got the hiccups. I'd say, goodness, I'd say 7, definitely. There are days that I could even see an 8, possibly, but this is a good beer, and I would highly recommend this beer if you can find it. I think a lot of people have tried just the regular Yingling, and I know people that are devout Yingling drinkers. And if you haven't had this, you really ought to try it. So there you go. To your next beer adventure. Cheers.
Cheers.